Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Getting Aligned call, or as I like to call it, Aligning with Success. You're perhaps somebody who's brand new in the business, just joined perhaps in the last day or two, maybe this last week, and you've noticed there's a lot of moving parts to the Nikan story and not quite sure how to orient yourself to get started. It's kind of like being new to driving, I find, where when you first get in a car and you've got to steer the car and you've got to learn how to turn indicate and you got to put the brakes on and you got to look around you. And there's a lot of moving parts to driving a car at first, or at least it seems that way. But as you get familiar with all those parts, it becomes second nature to you, and driving a car becomes effortless. In fact, you can multitask and do a number of other things over and above just driving the car. So I just want to point out to you that you may be feeling something like that if you're new to Nikan. And this call is designed to help you maybe make a little bit more sense of all these moving parts, create a more solidified storyline so you understand how everything fits together into a program that can help you achieve many of your goals and dreams. My name is Mike DiMuccio. I'm a Royal Diamond with Nikan. I've been with Nikan 24 years, and welcome to tonight's call. I'm going to go ahead and kick off our PowerPoint presentation. And this call, as I said, is called Aligning with Success. It's really about the team that comes together to help you achieve your goals. Not only the team that you're going to build, but the team that you actually joined. You may not realize that, but we'll get more into that as we go along with the call. Also, the natural rhythms. Everything has a natural rhythm. Life has a natural rhythm. Our system of going around the sun gives us our seasons. Everything is rhythmic in our life and in our business. That's also true. And learning a little bit about how to plug into those rhythms can make all the difference in the world. Rather than being beat against the waves, you sort of ride the waves to success. Also, our culture. Nikan has a very distinct and powerful culture. Perhaps one of the greatest reasons why people who have been in Nikan as long as perhaps, for instance, myself, 24 years, is really a reflection of the people who are attracted to Nikan and the culture here of what it takes to be successful, who these people are. And if you like what it looks like at the top of the Nikan ladder, I think you'll be here for a very, very long time. So take the opportunity to meet these leaders, and there's going to be more discussion about that a little bit later, as I've got a few on the call with us today. Alignment starts with the idea of success. We're trying to align to success, meaning there's already a definition of success, I think, that's very purposeful and meaningful that we want to start to consider and what it means to us in our lives. Everybody has their own definition of success, but mostly in the material world, success is a measure of what you have achieved. It's an achievement. And when you start to delve into the kind of business that we're talking about here, and more importantly, the kind of lifestyle that this business can afford you, there's a modification that needs to be made in how we actually perceive success. The best definition I've ever seen or heard came to me from my mentor, who got it from his mentor, who's in fact the author, Earl Nightingale, sort of the pioneer of the self-help movement. And he said, success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal, meaning you need to be progressing. It's not an achievement. It's not a destination. It's a direction. You need to be moving in the direction towards something that is worthy. A worthy ideal is something worthy of your life, something you trade your life for, as it was explained to me. And so how would we know if we were in alignment? We need a definition of what's worthy of our life. If we were in alignment, all of these things that you see on this chart would line up. Number one, we'd be engaged in a structure that would teach us to believe certain things to be true, which would naturally result in our behavior. It's said that most of our behavior is as a result of our belief system, whatever we've adopted as a belief system. So if you're not seeing the kind of success you want to have, for instance, in finances or in physical well-being or other areas of your life, relationships, etc., there's probably an underlying belief that's affecting your behavior. And of course, according to our behaviors, we produce the results in our life. So we need to address that. Also, our vision is realized if our results are consistently moving us towards that vision. So having a clear picture in our mind of what it looks like if we were living the ideal life is a good starting point. And even more important than that, on the highest order of things, is it fulfilling our purpose? And what exactly is our purpose? So alignment is having consideration of these things, beginning with the end in mind. What is our purpose? And then working backwards to find a structure that will actually help us fulfill our purpose by giving us the belief system that will support the behavior that will produce the results that are in alignment with our vision and the fulfillment of our purpose. And in Nikan, you landed on the home run. Our purpose here is living a life in balance. That's what we talk about when we mean humans being more in each of the key areas of our life: mind, body, family, society, finances. No one of these areas is less important than the other. So living a life in balance is really the bullseye. You know you're on target, you're living a good day, you're on purpose if you're moving towards greater abundance and freedom in these 5 areas, greater alignment and balance in each of these 5 areas. So it's kind of a bullseye. You sort of like your GPS system. You know if you're on target, you know if you're off target in any one of these areas. Example, what'd you eat today? Is it on target or off target towards a healthy body? So it's a simple way of looking at things, but it's an important thing to understand if we're going to understand what success looks like and measure it. Plugging into the system, joining the active wellness movement, as it were, is really about plugging into what's there and taking advantage of it. Kind of like this light bulb analogy. If you understand how a light bulb works, it has more wattage, the more current and voltage is across that light bulb. And our metaphor for that is the degree to which you plug in to the source of your potential starts with your upline, the people who enrolled you. Believe it or not, there's a crew of people standing by to meet you, to know who you are, to know what your dreams and aspirations are, and they have a lot more time and experience than you and are willing to work with you and serve you. They actually earn an income on your success. So it's important for them to help you be successful. Get to know who they are. Ask your sponsor to introduce them to their sponsor, and so on. You're going to eventually get to people who have done exceptionally well in Nikan. And like I said, if you hit their radar, you're going to get a lot of attention. And what it takes to hit their radar is be the squeaky wheel. In Nikan, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. So do a lot of squeaking and you'll get some attention. And that doesn't mean complaining. It just means asking for help, which is kind of backwards from perhaps the world you came from, where you got to sort of prove yourself every day that you're worth the job you're in. And so in this business, it's not like that at all. We're here to help. We're here to serve and help you become the best you can be. But you got to be willing to ask for that help. That's the condition. So be prepared to ask and start asking. Your Nikan family is not just the people who introduced you, but the people who share the Nikan experience with you. We call that the Nikan family. They could be other people who were sponsored by your sponsor, or essentially the entire Nikan global family. People who are involved in Nikan care about Nikan, and they care about you because you are part of Nikan now and the history of this company. Get to know these people. You can learn from them, and you can meet them at local gatherings as well, regional and national and international gatherings. So be a part of that experience. Nikan itself, the company. How do you learn about Nikan? Well, attend the events. Get online. Start to look at what Nikan has to offer you just on their online support system and the training, Nikan University, etc. The more you learn about Nikan, the more you'll be able to opt in, if you will, and the better you're acquainted with what's available to you, the tools such as the resources online, such as the back office called My Nikan, such as your PWP. The more you know about that, the more you can use it. It's sort of like having a toolbox. If you don't use the tools, you're not going to be able to use the leverage that they offer you. And lastly, there's you. You're the essential part of this whole equation. You're sort of the filament in the light bulb. And so the brighter you burn, the better it is for all of us. And so to create a whole lot of light, you want to draw in a lot of power, and you could get that from the resources around you. Plug into the system of people who are there ready to serve. We have a rhythm in Nikan, as I was mentioning earlier. Living a life in balance is about matching that rhythm. Well, in our business, we have a rhythm. There are people who join us and start in Nikan, and I'm going to get my little annotation device here going. So you started here with a phone call. Somebody contacted you somehow, or maybe you saw a Facebook post. That led to a conversation to determine whether you were interested in what we had to talk about. Eventually, you were introduced to the products. Eventually, you were introduced to the business. Eventually, somebody said, here's how we get started in Nikan. How do you want to start? Good, better, best. And now we're here, the alignment call, to show you that there's a whole system of people and systems of support available to help you turn the engine on your car and get that car down the road. We're going to invite you to a launch pad where you can learn a little bit about how to really launch your business into a high gear. It's not for everyone. It's for those who really want to get this business off to a fast start and start earning some serious income. But we invite you to participate in that. The weekly leadership calls where you can develop yourself personally. Perhaps the highlight of being involved in a business like this is the personal development that we get from the support system. And eventually you'll become one of the mentors that we get to listen to and members of your team listen to. So we have a program designed to help you grow your business, and you can plug in and participate at your leisure. I'm just going to get rid of this annotation device here. Now that schedule that you see here, you can find it, actually I should update this slide. You can now find it at theroyalalliance.com. How you actually got here. The royalalliance.com's website under events has this schedule, and you can see upcoming events and any future events. And the whole schedule of events is really designed to give you as much assist as possible to allowing people to learn about Nikken, your contacts, to plug into a presentation like this. They're all 30 minutes in length. They're short to the point. They're hosted by individuals who are dedicated and well-informed. There's always stories to share. You learn a huge amount from these events. These are also recorded and available for playback. Now, one of the big events that's coming up, the Spring Wellness Expo, you can learn about by going to springwellnessexpo.com. These events are critical to success. There's nothing like getting together with a bunch of people who think like you do, feel like you do, and are as passionate as you are, maybe even more passionate about the cause you're participating in. And that cause, by the way, not only happens to be Nikken and what Nikken stands for, every home a wellness home, humans being more, living a life in balance, but that cause is also your success and being able to live that life in balance to help others to do the same. So this is an event that's going to take place April 21 through 23. Plan to be there. I know that may be a little bit out of the box for you, out of the box thinking, but it's never too late to plan to be somewhere. And this could be the difference between seeing Nikken as perhaps a hobby or seeing Nikken as a real viable career possibility for you. Share this information with others. As you're introducing people to Nikken, let them know that you plan on being at the event in Orlando, April 21 through 23, and that you'd like them to consider joining you if they find that Nikken is a fit for them. Raise the bar. It raises the stakes. It lets them know there's something really serious happening here that you'd be willing to jump on a plane and go across state lines or even international lines to be at an event. It tells them you're serious about what you're doing. By the way, who you're going to be meeting at this event is all the top dogs in Nikken. You'll be learning from the best there are. Celebrate this event in person. Set some goals to achieve something of the successes that we have in terms of benchmarks in Nikken in the compensation plan. Work with your team to develop a strategy for achieving those goals, because what we do at these events, one of the things that we enjoy doing the most is recognizing success. And we'd like to see you walk on stage and get your success shared with for all to learn. Our culture in Nikken is quite unique. It is really what distinguishes one company from another, and I think this one has distinguished itself among the best of the best. Active wellness in every home, a wellness home. Now that you understand what it means, the concept of wellness home, can you imagine the impact on our world if we are successful at helping many homes become a wellness home? Even if it was only 10 or 15%, that could be a huge, monumental difference. And then eventually, what happens at 15%, they say that's when things really break wide open. So we've got a tall order of creating this kind of a movement, but you're part of that movement beginning with your own home. So be your own best customer. Launch your business. I mentioned that earlier. There's a good, better, best option available for you to launch your business and plug into the system with accelerated growth. A lot of people sort of step into the business, but those who launch their business are the ones who really see the value and the benefits of the opportunity quickly. It's a lot easier to share the information about Nikken when you have a bit of a success story of your own, and we're anxious to help you achieve that success. Earn Nikken reward points. This isn't a value added. This is something that we want people on our team doing with regularity. Nikken reward points are earned by generating 500 points, 1,000 points, or 1,500 points in personal volume. And we do that usually through our retail base, our customers. And preferably if these people are on auto ship, well, that happens automatically. And so what happens? Well, I'll give you an example of what happens to me. 225 Nikken reward points in Canadian dollars is $301.50 right now. That means since this program has been initiated the last 2 months, I've got over $700 if you include residuals from the other month, I've got over $700 in products waiting for me to purchase free. That Nikken is giving me the option to buy because of this rewards program. Imagine yourself or imagine your organization having their personal consumption products paid for free. What a tremendous benefit. This is over and above the compensation plan. So it's just a remarkable reward for doing the right thing. So we're rewarding a certain type of behavior and we're putting an exclamation mark behind it with these Nikken reward points. We want you to know about it and we want you to set that as a goal for your business. The 21 Club is something of an extraordinary way to launch your business because there's not only a success story behind that, there's also recognition behind that, and there's additional bonuses behind that. Do 2 21 clubs in succession within a 3-month calendar, and you're a silver, our first achievement of leadership. We're going to hear from someone who's done several and has actually hit a platinum or Paragon Award, which is the next higher achievement recognition. This is someone who's helped a number of people launch their business and become silver in their own right. 3 silvers within a 3-month period will not only gain you a tremendous recognition and the honor of achieving gold or above if you're already in the ranks, but you can also then get a flat screen, big flat screen TV, or earn $1,000 in cash, either or your choice. But the bigger thing here is that you've set a pace. You've set a standard for your business and you've achieved a higher level of leadership, which, by the way, also allows you to earn on the lifestyle bonus, which has awarded me all my cars in Nikken since I started achieving the lifestyle bonus, and my house. Team Kaizen is something you want to join. It's really about setting a pace for your business on a consistent basis over the course of the year. It's something that we want everyone to strive for who we consider a business builder. So I, as a Royal Diamond, am on the lookout always for someone who wants to run the business in a more professional and consistent like way. These are people who I would enroll in Team Kaizen, which means you're going to set a minimum of that 500 points per month. That's really the minimum. And then on top of that, you're going to set a goal for achieving silver and helping 3 others do the same over the course of the year. Well, I would expect that anyway if you're doing Nikken as a business, but to do it as under a supervision, if you will, by a mentor is just all the more power behind it. So choose a mentor. Choose a mentor that you feel very passionate about or very strongly about, or feel that they have the success that you'd like to replicate. And so there's always someone there available to mentor you. First and foremost, start with the people in your upline. They're going to be of a higher rank, platinum and above. And so start interviewing. Find out who in the platinum and above ranks in your upline are people who you can connect to, relate to, and who can assist you in achieving all of these benchmarks that we've just talked about. Of course, follow the ABC system. That means let the system do the work. The more you let the system do the work for you, the better it is. The more you utilize tools like videos, the more you utilize these online presentations, all these things help you get a leg up on the business. Work with your team. This is not a Lone Ranger story. This is a success story because you've built a team and you're part of a team, and teamwork is the key to success in this business. So we want to really help you understand how important that is to our culture. Strive for balance. I can't say that you're always going to be in balance, especially when you're going through a growth curve, especially if you're in launch mode. And I've been in launch mode in my business several times. And every time I went into launch mode, believe me, I went out of balance for a time. But then it allowed me to live a life in balance for a long, long time. That's the residual effect of that. It gives you a stronger connection to the meaning of our life and the meaning of our business when you start to really embrace these 5 pillars and start striving for that. And then share it. Be an ambassador of this message. This is an important message for the world to hear. It's a world out of balance, and the more you center yourself in this philosophy and start to live it, the more people around you will be influenced by it. So that's the basis of our alignment with success. I just want to offer a few stories here for you. How are we doing on this? Good. I have standing by Alban Frigo. Alban, I'm going to unmute you. Alban, I asked you to share real quick the idea of being on Team Kaizen. You're on my Team Kaizen team. What does it mean for you to be registered as a Team Kaizen mentee and having a mentor?
Well, Mike, it's always been about humans being more. And as you said earlier about being the squeaky wheel, you asked to be mentored. And that is about keeping me accountable to my purpose, my dreams, and what I want. So it feels great to be part of a team membership.
Thank you, Alan. And I'm glad to have you as part of the team. I know the first go around with that, you were had some reservations about it, but you came around and realized that this is what you wanted. And honestly, you're a great contributor to the team. And so not only are you a member of the team, but you have team mates that are members of the team and you feel now connected to, yes?
Absolutely.
And so would you say you feel like you're part of a family?
Well, I mean, this is what it's all about. It's about, we all want to belong. And when I was in Montreal for a few days, met there with one of our team members, Christian, and we shared some of the things that he's going through. And it's really important, I think, to be part of this group.
Well, thank you, Alban. So I encourage you all to register as a Team Kaizen member by first and foremost finding a mentor and asking them to be your mentor. Thanks, Alban. I have standing by Julie Tara, who is not only a Royal Diamond in Nikken, but she's what we call Cody Consultant of the Year. I don't know how many times she's Heart of Nikken Award recipient. She is now recently a Paragon Award recipient, Business 21 Club recipient. Julie, is there anything you haven't done?
I haven't become a Royal Ambassador yet.
Okay. Well, you certainly set the pace for all of us. So we're all looking at the smoke that you've got coming off your heels. Why don't you share with us real quick what the power is of this Paragon Award and how it's impacted you?
Well, I think it's just, I think it's that whole kind of thing of, when people say things can't be done, they're just interrupted by people that are doing it. And it's just about leading by example. And I've always believed in leading by example in my life, in many other ways as well. So this was an award I had never won. Royal Diamond Herb Wrap won it last year, and I thought that's really fabulous. And I thought I'm going for Team Kaizen this year. I need 3 silvers anyway to do that, along with the other qualifiers. And it was just a decision, really, to just let's see what can happen. And the more creative you are, and the more fun you have, the better it goes. And I'm really blessed because every one of those 3 silvers in November, December, and January are people I adore. I mean, I absolutely love them. We have a blast together. We laugh a lot, and we just take this out to people. And that's the key, is the communicating with new people all the time. So to find them and then to help them do the same thing. And so we've had lots of different meetings and lots of fun and very rewarding, huge experiences with the technologies, which of course always makes me massively happy because I'm extremely committed to health on our planet and natural health, of course, and energy medicine. And that's been my life. And that is my commitment in my life. My purpose and my service is to create a healing ministry around the world with Nikken. So it just all fits together very, very well. And yeah, you want to sponsor people that you really love, and then just go for it and encourage them not to feel they have to know everything. To take you along as the sponsor or the upline, and so that we can help them because they're going to learn while they earn. And that's what we teach in our business, is learn while you earn. Don't think you have to know everything first and then go do it. Do it right away, when strike while the iron is hot,
I kind of call that ready, fire, aim, right?
Yeah, exactly. And now I'm doing a 21 club with someone right now, and we're just getting phenomenal results. A woman who went completely numb on her left side for 5 years, almost completely, was able to bring, her life came back into her body after about 10 minutes with the products. Now, how exciting is that? And now that woman's just like the girl, the bee who I'm doing the 21 club with, she's not, now I've got it. Now I see why I need to take this to the world. So you never know.
Well, so I just want to ask you, Julie, you mentioned the 21 Club. Of course, you've hit the Paragon, which is sort of I guess the Paragon would be the equivalent of a Grand Slam home run in Nikken. You went around the bases, you brought a bunch of people home. But how did you initiate that? And I'm here in the Business 21 Club. I imagine that was probably your first call to order or call to action.
Well, that wasn't with the three that have just gone silver yet. They're going to do that, but this is with another lady in England, because I'm working a lot in England right now with my Team Kaizen group, just like you have your Team Kaizen group. And so I just told them all, I said, look, I'm here for you and I want to do 21 clubs, let's do them. And she was the one who piped up first. And then a second person in America piped up. And so she is over the moon by what she's already seen. And we're only like a week in. She's like, I finally got why we do ABCs. I'm learning so much. People are having all these miracles. I'm so excited. And it's just very beautiful. And that gives us all a great sense of fulfillment. So the fulfillment is psychic as well as financial. It's both. I don't know if I'd be in 21 years if it was only financial or only psychic. I mean, you want both. You want all of it. I want all of it. And so does everybody else. So that's what makes it such a fun business.
Wonderful. Thank you, Julie. Well, there you go, folks. You just heard it from, the top of the pyramid there. There's the person at the top looking out and saying, this is what it looks like from here, guys. It's worth the climb. It's worth rising to the challenge. And not only that, but she's in the field, in the trenches, like all of us, helping people who are squeaking. You just said she piped up. That's another word for squeak. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. Remember that if you got anything from this call. All right, we're going to ask Rick Murphy to share a couple of minutes here on. Rick, you are one of our incredible advocates, a diamond consultant in Texas who has graciously helped and creating an environment for us to come together. And one of the events that Rick has been sponsoring and spearheading is the event in San Antonio that'll be happening in October later this year. But the next big event, the one that's sort of the springboard for the launch of a new agenda, our new Niken, is in Orlando, Florida, and Rick has had a big hand in putting that together. So Rick, why don't you share a couple of minutes of the importance of events, that event in particular, and what they have to look forward to, and why they should get on that right away to register.
Sure, absolutely. Can you hear me okay, Mike?
Perfect.
Awesome. Basically, events are the place where your downline becomes partners. And there's something that happens there. It's when it's the place where you don't have to make calls to get people to get excited. They start making calls to get other people excited. It really is where everything changes. And I cannot tell people enough, if you really look at the metrics of this business, one of the core indicators of success in the business is the population you have with you at an event or lack thereof. And the old saying that I really like is, if you go to an event by yourself, you're there to learn. If you go with a team, you're there to earn. And that's the difference. We're not in the Elks Club. It's not about attending and eating a chicken dinner. It's about going with a team so that you can use. In fact, I think the best thing I'll say is, people that build this as a business successfully, when we say there's going to be an event, Paige and I don't think, are we going to go? We think, how are we going to use it to build our team? So, and I think part of the assumption is that we're going to be there automatically anyway. There's never an option of whether we're going to be there. We're going to be there unless, there's a death or something crazy like that. And even then, we usually manage to make it in unless it's something really crazy. But, and I think that just dawned on me, Mike. When they said there was an event in Orlando, there wasn't a moment where Paige and I said, well, Paige, should we go? Of course we're going. The question is, how many of our team is going to go, and what are we going to do to make it better? And that's the bottom line. Are you guys using these events for what they're worth and understanding that it is the springboard, the metric? One of the things our team is going to do next week is we've got a new form that's a Teach 3 to Reach 3, that not only when you launch the business with your goal of duplicating with 505 and duplicate yourself three times and then 3 times, every event we do, our team is going to download a Teach 3 or Reach 3, and their goal is going to be able to fill that out for the event with new people, with business partners, whatever, so that you have a metric to work towards it. So the bottom line is, the event is a big at-bat. And I was actually going to open my call talking about it anyway, Mike. So this is actually a perfect bridge between our must-see Nick V here on Monday night. But
which, by the way, you're up. You're up now. It's 10 o'clock. So
I am, but this is a great place to bridge over, because that really is what we're doing. In fact, the call I'm doing now is on how to spot your leaders. And one of the key indicators is, do they show up at stuff, and do they bring people? And it really is what it's about. And Orlando is going to be fantastic. Really, I look at from now until October, it's convention season in this 6-month bracket. And then, of course, we start the next one. But it's kind of the red zone for NECAN right now, what we're doing. It's when everything peaks. It's when the harvest is in the ground and it's coming out of the ground. It's planning. Orlando to San Antonio is the planning to the harvest. That's the way this thing is going to lay out this year. And so what are you going to plant in Orlando that you're going to harvest in San Antonio? And I'm here to tell you, if you stick some stuff in the ground, you might have a good bit of eating to do in October. And that really is what it's about. It's planting to harvest, and Orlando's the planting. I think that's a pretty good way to put it, Mike. What do you think?
I think that's a great way to put it. Excellent way to put it. And I personally plan my 90 days after the event based on who's at the event. So that's kind of who hits my radar. So thanks for that, Rick. You're up next. So I'm going to end this recording and pass the ball to you. Thank you, everyone.
Nice. Well, Mike, you're the guy that I added Canadian calling on just today, unlimited for free. So that's how much I love you.
Thanks, buddy.